For maybe guys who have heard the marathon bombing in Boston, Massachusetts, it's pretty heartbreaking to see many of these innocent people who have been badly injured and been sent to the hospital for nothing. I mean, it's just pretty heartbreaking for us to see. I know it's just kind of speechless for me to say anything about it, but I'm not going to explain too much about it, so the only things that I could just know about from the bombing is that there's 2 brothers who did it, and pretty much nearly a couple hundred people were nearly badly, severely hurt. And there's 3 of his friends who have helped them, do more bad things to hurt people. I'm not really gonna show you the video of it, so it's not really that important to show what really happened, but I just pretty much heard the news after like a week or so of the bombing. I just wanted to really show you guys what really happened from the beginning, from the start of the marathon to the bombing stuff and all that. So hopefully you guys will watch it, and I know I'm gonna somehow cry, so forgive me if I cry.
We need to go back to the very beginning of this story. Monday morning, 23,000 runners were shaking out their legs and waiting for the starter pistol to go off here in Boston, the finish line just behind me here. Hours later, 3 people would be dead, 170 injured, and 4 days later we would all know the name Tsarnaev. Deborah Roberts looks at clues from the week when a marathon turned into mayhem.
Roughly 6 hours before these terrifying blasts on Monday, all eyes were focused here, Hopkinton, Massachusetts, the starting line of the legendary Boston Marathon, a 26.2-mile course that winds its way through leafy suburbs before reaching downtown's Copley Square. Sun, light cloud cover, 50 degrees. Perfect day for a marathon. Shortly after 9 a.m., just over 23,000 runners begin their journey. 11:58 a.m., the winners cross the finish line.
The 2013 Boston Marathon champion.
Over the next few hours, thousands more, exhausted and triumphant, do the same. 2:37 p.m. Security cameras capture these images of 2 men snaking their way through the thick crowd gathered along Boylston Street. One in a black hat, Tamerlan Tsarnaev. The other in white, his younger brother, Johar. 2:50 p.m. Dual explosions, 550 feet apart. The first here, the second here.
Something just blew up!
In an instant, chaos and carnage. Spectators and runners in both locations knocked to the ground.
Instantly, it was the brightest light and the loudest ting in your ear.
Everybody started running, panicking.
It was very loud. The ground shook. You could just feel it going down through you.
As the smoke clears, cameras from all angles capture what looks like a war zone. Sidewalks painted in blood. Victims paralyzed in shock and confusion.
I saw quite a few casualties coming back. I saw one guy with his legs gone at the knees, some ankles and feet missing, shrapnel wounds on people on the sides of the head.
What did the smoke cloud and the kinds of injuries that you heard about in the beginning tell you about what had happened?
When we saw the film and saw that it was a white cloud, that meant it wasn't a heavy-duty explosive. That meant it was a smaller, more improvised, more amateur device.
Just after the blast, David Green takes this photo that would later prove critical.
I immediately, I don't know why, but pulled my phone out of my pocket and snapped a quick picture.
As many flee, there are others who run toward the epicenter. Police, marathon volunteers, even Good Samaritans like Michael Chase, seen carrying a little girl named Jane Richard.
It was pretty intense. I didn't think twice. I was looking just to help people.
So was cowboy hat wearing Carlos Arredondo, captured wheeling badly wounded 27-year-old Jeffrey Bauman, now an iconic image of this tragedy.
My first instinct was to just run across the street and start helping out the people.
Law enforcement filled the now evacuated area and secure a vast and intricate crime scene. The injured are rushed to area hospitals, where doctors like George Vilmalhos spring into action.
I had to do 4 amputations. Quite frankly, they were almost completely amputated by the bomb blast.
At 4:12 p.m., reports of another blast near JFK Library in Dorchester, later revealed to be an electrical fire. Then it spreads. Cities in the Northeast catch the same case of the jitters. New York City and the capital go on high alert. 6:10 p.m., with Pennsylvania Avenue closed to pedestrians, President Obama offers condolences to victims in Boston.
And we will find out who did this. We'll find out why they did this. Any responsible individuals, any responsible groups will feel the full weight of justice.
Tuesday begins with more heartache. 176 confirmed injured, and the death toll now at 3, including 8-year-old Martin Richard. Turns out he's the older brother of Jane, seen carried from the scene by Michael Chase. 9:30 a.m. Massachusetts Governor Deval Patrick and FBI officials appeal to the public for any photos or video they have of the marathon. No detail is considered too small.
We will go to the ends of the earth to identify the subject or subjects who are responsible for this despicable crime.
11:30 a.m. President Obama speaks to the country again, this time using the word everyone is waiting to hear.
The FBI is investigating it as an act of terrorism.
Meantime, Johar Tsarnaev, in a state of agitation, goes to his mechanic's auto shop to pick up a white Mercedes.
Very agitated. Before he was very polite. It's not in a million years that you could notice that the kid was an evil person.
Photos now appear online of what's believed to be components of the bombs, a mangled pressure cooker and a tattered black backpack. There are also photos of a circuit board and battery that are quickly linked to the distributor of a popular children's remote control car. 2 p.m., 29-year-old Crystal Marie Campbell becomes the second victim identified.
We are heartbroken at the death of our daughter, Crystal Marie. This doesn't make any sense.
As families of the victims grieve, Johar Tsarnaev later tweets, "Nowadays, everybody want to talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips, just a bunch of gibberish." Wednesday, 9:30 a.m. As Johar attends class at UMass Dartmouth, word spreads that authorities are closing in on a suspect.
This is a fast-breaking investigation with a major breakthrough already.
And the internet is on fire with speculation. Websites like 4chan and Reddit are meticulously dissecting photos of the scene, raising suspicions about faces in the crowd. All, including this young man, turn out to be not involved.
If you look at it, it wasn't me.
1:30 p.m.
Well, if we have information, an arrest has been made.
CNN erroneously reports an arrest has been made and will be announced shortly by the FBI. But that press conference never happens because a bomb threat empties the federal courthouse. The final victim is later identified as Lu Lingzi, a Chinese national attending grad school at Boston University. Wednesday ends with yet another tweet from Johar Tsarnaev saying, "I'm a stress-free kind of guy." Thursday morning, with the bombers still on the loose, the President and First Lady arrive in Boston for an interfaith service in honor of the victims.
Your country is with you. We will all be with you as you learn to stand and walk and, yes, run again. Of that I have no doubt. You will run again. You will run again.
With no news from the feds, frustrations are growing. But later that day, the break everyone's been waiting for.
We're getting answers tonight, but certain questions will always linger. One of the hardest, and one that echoes after every calamity. What if? What if Crystal Marie Campbell had not taken off this particular day from the restaurant where she worked so hard just to cheer and celebrate the spring sunshine?
This doesn't make any sense.
What if a mother and father in China had not scrimped and saved and bet on their bright daughter, Lingzi Lu, their only child, sending her off to study at a university in a place on the other side of the world? What if a little boy with an adorable smile, Martin Richard, and his little sister had not gone for ice cream? In Dorchester, as a tribute to Martin, they stopped the clock. But no one can turn back time. So you can ask the question 23,000 times, once for every runner. What if?
So you come to Boston to see your son run in the Boston Marathon.
Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't have missed it.
What if Linda Witt had not flown all the way from Wisconsin to see her son, Bill Tangway, running in his first Boston Marathon? She snapped these pictures as Bill turned down the home stretch, then decided at that moment to bolt for the finish line.
My son, the finish line. I wanted to hold him and that I wanted to be there for him.
That was the moment for you.
That was the moment. It was just like that. I've got to see him, you guys. I'm going to go.
The first blast struck Linda as odd.
Then there was another blast. Saw the smoke.
Hard for you still.
You really don't know what to do. And then right in front of me there was this poor gal and she just kind of looked like a broken doll.
Ironically, Linda's son, not a scratch. She's the one who got hurt.
At that point, we saw her pants all ripped up, and she said she couldn't hear us.
She lost 50% of her hearing in the blast. Doctors say it's temporary. But the memories, the faces, they will linger a lifetime.
And you saw what?
Fear. Fear.
I'd never ever would imagine that somehow children of my brother would be associated with that atrocity. We're devastated. We're not requiring forgiveness in this family. He put a shame on our family, Tsarnaev's family. He put a shame on the entire Chechen ethnicity. Because everyone now names, they play with word Chechen. So they put that shame on the entire ethnicity.
So why did 26-year-old Tamerlan Tsarnaev and his 19-year-old brother Jahar allegedly commit one of the most heinous acts of terrorism in America since 9/11?
I know this video will take kind of a long time. Forgive me if I did kind of too long for you guys. I would occasionally pretty much do those long videos whenever something happened kind of badly or something special, like the memories of each year I had, have fun time and to remember what is positive, something like that. But I know it's a little off topic. This is serious. It's not really going to be, oh, this is a joke, or this is, oh, a false story. I mean, this is not a false story. I think I pretty much said it in one of those videos about the Newtown, Connecticut shooting that happened. I mean, this is serious though, like I said. You could just pretty much look it up in the links below, the description, about what really happened. Or if you watch the video, that's pretty much realistic. I just got it from national news. But, like I said, pretty much I feel pretty sorry for those people. Our hearts will pretty much go to families and their friends who have been affected by this tragic bombing in Boston. So I know I'm gonna cry, but so also be sure to please feel free to leave any questions, comments, suggestions, etc. So take care and be safe. And I know it has been weeks after the bombing until I just pretty much recorded it. And I'll see you guys later. Take care.
More Americans choose ABC News to see the whole picture.